Good afternoon, everybody. I'm glad to be here this afternoon, to do a presentation for our community, and also I'd like to thank Michael for inviting me here and help him with his presentation as well too. So my name is Cornelius Wabas. I'm the chief of Webequie First Nation. So I've been chief for a number of years for my community, and Webequie is a small community, a remote community of 851 on reserve, and then 250 off reserve. So the off reserve members that are out in urban centers are Thunder Bay, Sulcout, Ottawa, and also in Toronto. So we do have a number of people that are out there due to health, education, and other reasons. So I'm glad to be here today to do a presentation or to do a speech on why Webequie is part of this going forward. With the potential of the Ring of Fire. Thank you for joining us today to hear about Webequie First Nation and also Marten Falls community aspirations. For the Ring of Fire. As you might know, Webequie embarked on studying an economic development road from our airport to the proposed mine sites development. The project was called the Webequie Supply Road. Marten Falls started their own road called the Community Access Road. There is a third road that both of our communities are co-proponents on, and that road is called the Northern Road Link, which you will later hear this afternoon. So we are working together on these important projects, hoping that that as we work together, that we will gain some prosperity for our communities. The Webequie Supply Road is an extension of another road we did for the airport development plan, which is still in progress, and we look forward to talking with funders about the expansion of our airport to become an aviation hub for the Ring of Fire. So we do have that aspiration as well too, to be the hub, of the Ring of Fire in terms of aviation. I think it's important to share why we are leading the environmental and impact assessment. So it's very important that we know, that everybody knows where we stand, and how we want to move forward, and how we want to work with all parties. First, we wanted our indigenous principles to be part of any EA study in the Ring of Fire area, and we do that through our three-tier model. Webequie has its own model, the three-tier model. This was developed from our community elders, along with our members. It's a plan how we want to prosper in being part of development in our area. So the three-tier system consists of the reservation, the protected area, and also the mutual benefit area. So more detail will follow in that tier model that we have. Second, we also wanted to generate the information about impacts in order to make informed decisions for our people, for any parties as well too. We need to have more information to have that informed decision so that we can make a better decision moving forward. How these impacts will impact us. So By leading the environmental and impact assessments, we can define the scope, the studies properly to ensure and exercise our responsibility as environmental stewards of our homelands. So it's very important that we understand the processes, that we work together so that we understand how we can maintain our homelands. Third, as indigenous proponents, we can properly participate in the actual studies that are happening, that we have to be involved in that and benefit from capacity building, field programs, and indigenous knowledge studies. Indigenous knowledge studies are very important to us, and it's very important for all parties to understand what is it that we're talking about when we say indigenous knowledge. Those are some of the knowledges that we have that we need to maintain so that we can continue our culture. Fourth, we wanted to realistically identify the opportunities, pathways for training and employment and businesses for our community members, our First Nation neighbors as well too, and for our future partners. That is part of our indigenous-led environmental and impact assessment as well too. So lastly, we hear a lot about UNDRIP, or the United Nations Declaration of Rights of Indigenous Peoples. Many people, they focus on free, prior, informed consent, or FPIC. Like for Webequie, we don't know any better, or I don't know any better, of how a way to freely generate information prior to any project starting in our area. So as an indigenous nation, to lead the environmental assessment so that they can generate the information to make informed decision. So it's very important that we understand that the UNDRIP is a document that we need to understand to better move forward. What a lot of people don't look at with UNDRIP is the other clauses, such as indigenous nations have the right to self-determination. We have that right to self-determination and the right to choose their own type of development. That is what we are doing. So we have certain rights as indigenous peoples to self-determination. We are determining through these studies what type of sustainable development we want as indigenous nations, and what type of shared decision making to our homelands and with our industry and government partners. That is what we are working on in the past several years. It has been a hard work. It is critical work, and most important, it is a collective work. We have to work together to be, to move forward, to make things more sustainable. And part of that collective work is my membership, who we have informed. We have to continue to inform and engage and consult our members on a regular basis, as well as other surrounding communities. For our indigenous neighbors who either have the same views and have different views, we are open to hearing, other people. We're open to engaging with other people. We are open to input and feedback on road projects. We are open to sharing opportunities as well too. So we are very open to discussion and meetings and moving forward. We are also thankful for the several First Nations who have provided technical submissions to our current WSREA and terms of reference for the Northern Road Link as well too. We look forward to the continued information sharing. Some of the work that we're doing, we are participating on our land use planning. We are also participating, working with company in the exploration. Those are directives from our elders, principle that we have in place to begin to quantify what sustainable development is, the community moving forward into the future. What is it? So development has to be done in a sustainable manner and sound environment for the protection of our lands, and we have to have a protectional policy in place. We're also looking at benefits, for our community. Benefit. So we developed a corporation, which is called Magitawan. So it's a benefit. It's the word benefit. Our way of life has changed, and we have to learn to adapt as we move forward into the new future. But we have to maintain our values and culture and our way of life as we move forward. Land and water stewardship is very important, so we have to maintain that as well too. We are encouraged to pursue education with First Nations, industry, and government. We also have our inherent rights that we follow, and we hope that our inherent rights will be recognized as we work together moving forward with the potential of the Ring of Fire. To conclude, Webequie First Nation will protect its homelands with a robust and rigorous environmental impact assessment. Webequie is trying to improve the quality of life for its members, and we see value in leading and participating in the Ring of Fire developments. Webequie First Nation is exercising its rights to self-determination. And lastly, Webequie First Nation wants to provide opportunities to its youth members and to the future members in the generations to come. Thank you. You guys.